Hello, everyone. Welcome to Yoga Elementals. It's great to have you here. So what we're going to do is a yoga class based on the element of metal. The metal element is it's associated with the lung and the large intestine meridian. So we're going to use the metal element and the meridians of the lung and large intestine and do a little bit of a flow and connect into the energy of this element. But before we start, I just want to make sure you have a chair where your feet can be flat on the ground and no sides. So just a stable chair to start in. And so let's just explore the lung and large intestine meridian. The lung meridian starts here underneath the shoulders. If you lift up the shoulders and you slide down, there's a little divot, and that's the beginning of the lung meridian, lung 1. And if you rub it, you can really feel a little tenderness in there maybe. And then the meridian flows from this point on both sides down. So if you hold your arm out and your thumb is pointing up, and you just trace that all the way down and out through the outer edge of the thumb, that's the lung meridian. And so you can do that on both sides, just kind of sense the location of the meridian. And the lung is paired with the large intestine meridian, which runs from the index finger here. And that's the first point at the very outer edge of the nail of the index finger. And you can trace that all the way up the arm and over the shoulder, up the neck, and then across to the nostril. So if you rub the outer edge of the nostril, that's the top of the large intestine meridian. So you can start on the other side and just trace from the index finger all the way up and up the neck and to the outer edge of the nostril. Right, so the metal element is all about creation. Water is created from metal if you look at the 5-element cycle. And metal is created out of the earth. And so it uses the raw material of the earth to create itself, to create metal. And then water kind of condenses, and it's almost like alchemy. It comes out of metal. So I'm not going to go too far into the theories of the elements, but I just want to kind of say how the metal element is about protection. It can be about how we protect ourselves, how we hold armor, how we adorn ourselves with shiny objects, how we present, like what we want to show the world. And so it's like what we want to create in our area and what we want to also keep out. So in that way, it has a lot to do with our immune system. Anyway, enough with the lecturing. I just want to get into some yoga now. So let's start with hands on the tops of the legs and take a moment to close your eyes. And since we're focusing on the lung and large intestine, you're going to breathe deeply into the belly. So you can put your hands on the low belly if you want. And just feel as you inhale, the lungs expand and massage the intestines, right? As you exhale, the low belly pulls in. So you see this relationship between the physical lung and large intestine. Inhale, you're bringing in air, bringing in life force energy. As you exhale, you release anything you no longer need. Continue inhaling and just feeling the energy of what you want to bring in. And exhale, maybe some stress or tension or something you're holding on to. And as you're doing this, I want you to think about, what's something I want to bring in today? Set your intention for your practice. What's something I want to make room for in my day, in my body? And then I want you to consider something that you might no longer need. What's something that I've noticed that I'm carrying that is maybe a weight on my shoulders? What can I let go of? Just bringing in and letting go as the intention of class. Bring your arms by your side. And you're going to inhale, you're going to turn the palms out and inhale the arms up, letting the fingertips touch as you slowly inhale. And then turn the palms out and exhale, creating space and room around you. Inhale, turn the palms out, lift. So we're creating this energetic space around us that we're kind of opening and brightening and energizing as we breathe. Turn the palms out as you inhale. Bring in vitality or whatever it is you're wanting to bring in. And exhale, smooth out any static, let go of the energy of the old. Bring your hands behind your head now. And I'm going to do a cat-cow with the hands behind the head. If this is uncomfortable on your shoulders or neck, you can always bring your hands on your lap. So as you inhale, now we're just going to press the chest forward as we reach the elbows apart, lift the chin. Exhale, round the back and reach the elbows towards each other. Pull the belly back. Inhale, lift the chest, open the arms. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. And exhale, round. And come on back up. We're going to walk our feet to the side of the chair. If you're on a bench, you can stay where you are because you don't really have much room to wiggle, right? So we're going to walk our feet to the side and take a lunge position. Well, you can do it. All right. So one leg that's on the chair, we're going to, on the inside of the chair, keep there. The outer leg, slide the toes back, and we're coming into a seated lunge. Great. You can hold on to the seat or the back of the chair and put your hand, the outer hand, on the top of the thigh. So you're bringing your right hand to the top of the thigh. Yeah, I had to, I'm mirroring you. I had to remind myself. Press your hand into the top of the thigh and pull the belly back. See if you can find this little bit of engagement through the core. So as you press down through the hand and you'll feel the belly engaged, try to keep that so you're not just dumping the belly forward. Then bring that right hand up alongside the ear with this engagement in the core. Drop the shoulder down. Turn the pinky fingers slightly in towards the crown of the head. Make some space in the neck. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to lean over towards your left, side bending. So stretching the QL, quadratus lumborum, Feel yourself breathe into that hip, outer side body. And then slowly lift your arm back up, inhale, and exhale. Slide your feet back together. Spin around to the other side, so you might have to march to the other side of the bench. And now the right thigh is on the top of the chair, and we're going to slide the left toes back. Again, holding onto the back of the chair or seat, and take your left hand to the top of thigh, and just kind of push down and feel your belly pull back. And then the arm comes up alongside the ear, drop the shoulders down. Good. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, side bend towards the right. Leaning in towards the back of your chair or towards the support of your hand on the bench. And try to breathe into that left side hip. Create some space using the breath. Inhale, come on back up. And exhale, slide the feet back together and come around to the front. So we're using the lungs to massage the internal organs and release the large intestine. We're going to take I'm not mirroring you right now, so we want to start on the right side. So bring your right knee up, interlace your hands in front of the shin, and squeeze the leg in towards the belly. This is called wind relieving pose. So as you inhale, you're going to press the belly into the top of the thigh. And as you exhale, see if you can squeeze a little bit more. Inhale, let the breath really massage that ascending large intestine. And exhale, making room, just kind of bring in the knee a little more. One more breath. And release. Good. And then we'll do the other side, the descending side of the large intestine. So the left leg comes in. Try to change your grip. Interlace your fingers the opposite way. Lift the chest, draw the knee in towards the left side of the chest, and then find the breath, pressing the inhale against the inner thigh. And the exhale makes room. And release. Good. And one more seated practice. It's a Qigong exercise. And we're going to use a light fist and just start to lightly pound the top of the lung meridian. And you can go as hard as you'd like to if you notice any areas that kind of want a little bit more release. And you're going to just slowly work your way down the meridian, so down towards the thumb. And you can look at your arm and imagine you're moving energy down the lung meridian all the way to the thumb. And then the other side, so switch hands and just start at the top. And thought moves energy, intention moves energy. So just imagine you're kind of waking up and releasing any energy in this lung meridian, moving it out of the thumb. And then go to the other side when you're ready. And then one more. Good. We'll just shrug the shoulders a couple times. And take the left hand behind the back. And the right hand will just grab the fingertips and pull them over. So you're pinning the hand to the opposite hip here. And then lean the right ear towards the right shoulder. And you can lift the chin slightly. And just feel the upper lungs especially filling with breath, making room. Maybe turn the chin down if that feels good. And then release the arms and press the cheek to rise back up. Good. Take a couple of shoulder shrugs if you need it. And maybe just circle the head around. As if you're drawing a circle with your nose in front of you in both directions. And then we'll take the right hand and slide the back of the right hand across the back. Left hand will grab the fingertips and kind of pull it and pin it to the hip. And then lean the left ear towards the left shoulder. And try to notice what direction the stretch makes your breathing feel easier or better. Gives you more room than you had before. And keeping your head where it is. I could stay here for 5 more minutes, but we'll use the hand to press the face back up, release the arms. And come up to stand. Bringing the chair off to the side for now, but we will use it later. So coming to your feet and taking a moment to kind of adjust your feet on the ground so that you really feel the connection of the soles of the feet into the ground beneath them. If you're wearing socks, take them off. Bare feet is best, especially if you don't have a mat, even if you do have a mat. And just rock back and forth and maybe spread the toes. We're rooting down into the earth. As the metal element comes out of the earth, we need to feel the support of the earth to work with these meridians, right? And this is mountain pose. So you're standing with your feet rooting down, palms shining forward, legs active, long through the back of the neck. And we'll bring the arms up overhead. We're going to use the interlace, as I like to say, the Charlie's Angels interlace. The index fingers are pointing up and everything else is together. Bring the arms straight up overhead. Take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to side bend to the right. Just a gentle side bend. As you stretch to the side, make sure to press down to the feet and lift. So it's an equal rooting down and lifting up. And just see if you can find the breath or an easy place for the breath. And come on back up. Little side bend over to the left. Rooting down, especially into that right foot. So see if you can press a little more into that right foot to make a little more length in the whole right side body. Inhale, come on back up. And exhale, let the arms float down. We're gonna do a half sun salutation. So soft knees, sweep the floor, let your head hang down, and start to lift through a flat back halfway up. Let the hands slide up the shins towards the knees, lift the chest, reach the chin forward. Exhale, fold. We're just gonna rise up again halfway. Inhale, slide the hands up, root down through the feet, lift through the chest, and fold. And then one more halfway lift. Inhale. And then as you exhale, you're gonna fold back down, step your feet a little wider, bend your knees, and grab opposite elbow with opposite hand for ragdoll. So let your head hang down, and you're gonna shake the head, let it bob in a kind of a yes, or let your head swing side to side. And again, let the breath massage the intestines. Make sure the low belly is touching the tops of the legs. Bend the knees a lot more if it's not touching. Just breathing into the low belly. And then as you exhale, just feel the release down the spine, out the top of the head. Release your arms, pull your belly in, and start to round up. Keep your head and shoulders really heavy, and round up one vertebrae at a time. Head hangs low, carefully coming up, mindful of any dizziness, and then slowly stepping the feet back together for mountain pose when you're ready. Taking a breath, seeing if you feel any different here in your mountain pose. And then bringing your, I'm just going to stand to the side so you can see what I'm doing, but you're going to step the left foot forward and the right foot back. And putting the hands on the hips. Keep the hips square, so they're both pointing straight forward. The back foot, look at it, should be pointing up about at an angle, maybe pointing to like 2 o'clock or 10 o'clock, depending on your, and make sure that's comfortable. So you can hop the heel up or down. Take a deep breath in, lift the chest. And then as you exhale, hinge at the hips and reach the heart forward, keeping a flat back. You can do a micro bend in that front knee. And then coming all the way down, or putting your hands on the chair if that supports you better. You can bring your hands all the way to the floor and let your nose hang down towards the front shin. So this is pyramid pose. So we're feeling the stretch in the kidney meridian, bladder meridian. It's the water that comes out of metal. So just let yourself release into this with each breath. See if you can create a little more space in the area where your belly is touching that leg. See if you can pull the belly in and up a little bit to create a little more room in the spine. Root into the back foot a little more so that that hip rotates more inwards. Deepening the stretch. And slowly come on up. And we'll switch. So just pivot up on the heels to the other side. Make sure the feet are comfortable. The back toes are out at an angle. Pull the hips so the front leg hip pulls back. The back leg hip pulls forward and they're square. And then start to hinge at the hips, lead with the heart. Coming about halfway down just for a moment to readjust your hips. And then hands can come to the chair, or you can come all the way down and letting your nose hang towards the knee, forehead towards the shin. Continue to pull, push into the front toes, base of the big toe, and find the length from the base of the big toe up the leg to the hip, pulling the hip back. And then naturally the back leg starts to kind of fall forward. So you keep squaring your hips. Pull the belly in where it meets the hips and see if that creates a little more length in your spine. With each breath, you can imagine your rib cage kind of crawling down the leg like a slow caterpillar. Softening the front knee, hands to the hips. Start to lift yourself back up. Turn the toes in and step together. Arms by the side, mountain pose, taking a breath. So we're going to bring a little fire now into our metal element. So bring the feet about hip width distance apart or feet together. We're coming into chair pose, which is going to build some heat in the body. So make sure your feet are pretty close together. And then you're going to sit the hips back and down. Good. Yep. Pull the weight towards the heels. Pull the knees back to, if you look down, you can try to see your toes. And then swing the arms forward and up. And you're in a chair pose. Drop the hips down, lift the chest. Lift the heart. So we're reaching up as if we're bringing in fire energy into our body. Make sure your knees are tracking in towards each other. Not perfect, good. And then we'll bring the hands behind us, interlace the hands, squeeze the shoulders back, and then belly onto the tops of the thighs. And we're just going to take a forward fold to let the head hang down. If you want to lift your hands up off the back, you can, but that's a little too bendy for me today. And then release the hands and start to slowly roll your way up. Hopefully you're feeling a little warmth building in the body. Coming to mountain pose. How are you guys doing? Feeling good. All right. Heart rate comes up with that, right? Like we get things really moving. We're just standing in one position, but it's really activating a lot. We're going to come into warrior one and moving from warrior one to warrior three. So if you do yoga already, then you'll know what we're going to get up to. Let me just move my chair out of the way so you can see me. I'm going to take that position again, feet wide, spin over to your right side. Hands on the hips, squaring the hips, and maybe walk the feet a little further apart than in the pyramid pose. So your feet are going to be a little bit wider. And then bending into the right knee. Look at where the knee is and make sure it's over the ankle and not bending further. You want to keep, if you want to lengthen your warrior, you can slide the back heel back even more. Bring your arms up overhead. And then we'll interlace the hands and keep the index finger pointing straight up. So the index finger and thumb, lung and large intestine meridian, squeeze the arms into the side of the head as you lift the chest. And warriors are all about holding swords, which is metal, right? So we're gonna lift, imagine just holding our sword high to the sun. So coming from fire, and then moving into water, release the arms, bring them behind you, interlace behind you, and we'll come into humble warrior. So bring the chest onto the top of the thigh, let your head hang down, and maybe lift the arms up off the back. If that's not accessible to you, you can just keep your hands on your back. Now let the head hang. So this is like water. We're letting everything flow down our back, out through the crown of the head. Squeeze your feet onto the earth below you to support that. And then slowly lift yourself back up, taking an inhale, straighten that front leg. And then exhale, bring the hands to the hips. We'll walk the back foot in, hop it in a little bit. We're coming to warrior 3 here. So hands on the hips. Start to transition the weight into the right foot. Lift the toes, left toes up behind you and flex the foot strongly. Reach back through that heel, that left heel, and then lift the heel high, and then let the arms float back behind you. Lift the chest. You don't have to come down all the way. Good, that looks great. Just keep lifting the heart, squeezing the glutes, kicking back through the heel. Good, and then slowly step down and come back to your warrior 1. Lifting the arms up high. And step forward. Samastitihi, bring your hands to your heart. Well, we're moving through a lot right now. You guys are doing great. Arms by your side, mountain pose. Just take a moment to reconnect to your intention. What are you bringing in through the breath? What are you letting go of with the exhale? So I'm turning to my side, but you guys can do whatever orientation you want in your space. We're bringing the left foot forward, the right foot back. Coming into warrior 1, so bending into that front knee. Maybe adjust the back heel, back toes a little bit. Arms come on up. Interlace the hands the opposite way, opposite thumb on top, so it might feel a little awkward. And then squeeze the arms. Just imagine that shiny, bright sword overhead, proudly lifting your heart. Imagine the energy of the sun coming down. Remembering to breathe. Then we'll come into humble warrior. So release the arms. Again, hands come behind you. You can just, if it's hard for you to interlace the hands, you can just touch the fists together. But let the chest and belly lay over the top of the left thigh, and then let the head hang down. So the chin comes to the chest. As if the crown of the head is reaching for the big toe. Squeeze the floor, activate the legs, pull the belly in, and just let the head and neck relax. Come on up slowly. Hands to the hips, hop the back foot forward. And we're coming into warrior three. So transition the weight onto that left foot, lift the right heel up behind you and turn the toes down. So you don't want the toes out, that would be half moon. Warrior three, lift the heel, keep the chest lifted, arms float back like an airplane. Keep lifting through the back heel, lifting through the back body. Step back to your warrior one. Beautiful. You guys are so solid. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's take a breath here. And then step forward. Equal standing pose. I know I'm using Sanskrit. There's a lot going on. I'm talking about elements, meridians, yoga poses. You don't have to listen to what I'm saying. Just do the things in the body. Bring your arms by your side. There's no wrong way here. We just want to make sure we're breathing wherever we are, right? So whatever level of the pose you go to, it doesn't matter if you're doing the pose, you know, as intensely as anyone else, just as long as you're finding the breath and comfortable in the body, just feeling that energy, you're doing everything great. So we're gonna take Uddiyana Bandha because it's really linking the large intestine lung connection. Let me just demonstrate it real quick. So I'm gonna start with my feet wide, goddess pose, knees bend out to the side. And then my hands, the heels of my wrists are in the crease of my hips. And I let my shoulders come up towards my ears. And just gonna demonstrate once. I go to exhale all of the air. And without inhaling, I pull the belly in and up. And you see how my chest lifts? I'm creating a vacuum in the lungs to create more space in the lower intestine area. Then releasing the belly, I can start to breathe again. So we'll do that twice together. I'll come a little closer so you can see me, but the action is hold the breath out, then with the breath held out, pull the belly in and up, and the chest expanding like a vacuum, okay? You think you got it? All right, so sitting in your goddess stance, hands on top of the thighs, press down through the hands and let the shoulders lift up. Double exhale. Without inhaling, pull the belly in and up. Release the belly, release the breath. You can stand for a second, turn your toes in. Maybe step into mountain pose if you want. It's a pretty powerful exercise of the breath, right? We're using breath to move energy, to let go, to create the alchemy of the lungs, right? And one more time, step the feet apart, sit the hips down, press the hands on the tops of the thighs, let the elbows straighten, good. Double exhale. False inhale. And whenever you're ready, you can release the belly and take a breath. Find your way back. Palms shining forward. All right, let's get back into the chair. So take your chair. Sitting into the chair comfortably. Maybe stepping the feet wider if that feels good. Just kind of bringing some stillness to the body. taking alternate nostril breathing. So bring your, bring your right hand, I'm mirroring you, index and middle finger in between the eyebrows, thumb on one nostril, and then the other two fingers on the other nostril. We're gonna inhale through the left side, so blocking the right side. Squeeze and hold both nostrils closed. And then release the right side to exhale. Inhale through the right. Squeeze and hold the breath in, hold the nostrils closed. And exhale through the left side. Inhale. Squeeze and hold. Exhale right. Inhale. Hold. Exhale left. One more round. Inhale. Hold. Exhale right. Inhale. Hold. Exhale left. Just let the hand float down. Keep your eyes closed. Hands can rest together or on the legs, whatever is comfortable. Let your eyes look up towards the forehead center. Let the breath come back to a natural state, relaxed, gentle. Scan your body for anything you're holding on to. Any tension in the shoulders, jaw. Letting go. And cultivating it inside that feeling of what you want to bring in to your day, what you want to bring into your body. Maybe from before, the intention you set, or something new. But with each breath, just imagine being in what it is that you're cultivating. Maybe noticing that there's a little bit more you can let go of. And bring one hand to the chest, the upper lungs area, and one hand to the low belly, the large intestine area. Just kind of feel the movement. Noticing that perfect synchronization and harmony in the body, the breath. And hands together, and any gesture you feel like you can bring the hands to the forehead or just bowing your nose to your fingertips. Gratitude to each other, sharing this space and this community. Thank you so much. Namaste. Mhm.